What's up, everybody? We're back. This is episode 23 of the AI Code Central podcast. And we have a very special guest slash new co-host and announcement. Mallory, welcome to the AI Code Central podcast.
This is so exciting. I mean, I know I was just on the previous episode, but to now join both Charlie and Connor to be on this podcast is exciting. So, yeah,
We
I'm
are
expecting.
thrilled. We are thrilled. You crushed it, Mallory. Seriously, the last couple times we've spoke, I'm just like enamored by everything you kind of have to say. So I'm like super stoked just to have you on the podcast.
I appreciate it. And honestly, like I've already
Awesome.
learned so much from the both of you as well. So this is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a
Yeah,
good
we are very much looking forward to it.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
time.
Oh, you didn't hear? Oh, I was playing the DJ air horn.
No!
Oh, no, that's because of our new podcast mics are so in tune
Yeah,
with
they're
just
so
us,
dialed
Charlie,
in.
that they don't pick up
Right.
any outside noise or interference. So
Well,
that's
that was a hard fail. Well,
Wait,
anyway,
so we need to have like Zoom effects or something, like Zoom sound effects where we can like, do the air horn or
I
like
would love to do that. Wait, is
yeah,
that a thing?
can we do that? I don't even know if that's a thing.
they can have the
Wait,
free
new?
podcast where they do all those sounds when they're talking.
Yeah,
It's
I love that. I kind of like that stuff. I think it kind of helps.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
and
like
they'll have like
radio shows that
some
would
that
do
they
that.
repeat over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be
Like
great.
I used to listen to Loveline like way back in the day, and that was like one of the funniest parts, like the drops and everything.
Love line?
Yeah, well, oh my God, I literally just aged myself. I'm 40. So back in high school, it was like this like it was hosted by a doctor and a comedian. So people would call in and it's like, oh, like I got oh geez, how do I say this? Um I'm on like this kind of birth control and my God, I can't believe I even said this,
Medication,
man.
sure.
Yeah, like, let's just say medication.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having this kind of
Charlie.
sexual dysfunction, and then but the comedian would
Charlie, how
jump
dare you
in
say that?
and say it. I know. And the comedian, it was like really, really funny. And it was like this national radio show, but they always had drops. It was like a background sound effect. And it was like so well timed. It was so funny. It was so they're on
Yeah,
YouTube. It was very nostalgic, but
we got to figure that out. I
Well,
remember.
like we could do memes, but then we can mix it in with like terrible marketing jargon, right? That nobody wants to hear. That just could get the people going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
rubber
I
hits the
think really
road.
just like perk them up after they're just
Yeah.
like, what are these guys
That's
talking about?
right.
And then all of a sudden, just boom, sound effect right in your
Bam.
ears. Like,
So Mallory, what will our listeners and viewers get with your expertise? Because I like that final piece of the trifecta of this podcast has been just slammed right in front of them. So what will they get?
Absolutely. So, a few things. One, when it comes to brand, community, and content marketing, that is just my bread and butter. And it's great because that I'm doing this podcast because I've had so many folks as of recent. I was just telling Charlie this before we decided to record that I've been getting inbound of people that are just interested in learning more about what it takes to be a brand marketer. How can they actually approach building an amazing, well-rounded community for their brand. How can they approach, creating organic content? What channels should they look into? I've just been getting a lot of questions. And so I'm excited to be here with Charlie and Connor because I think this is a wonderful time to figure out how I can share more of this knowledge with the world. So there's that. I think when it comes to my experiences around working at early stage startups, specifically in games and AI and tech overall, I'm happy to share a lot of those stories with our listeners. And of course, when it comes to just like team building and culture, which I'm very big on, I love managing people and working with teams and working with folks. Like I can definitely provide some insight to that as well. So those are some of the things that you'll
the
be hearing from me. Also, I love
Bam.
salad sandwiches from 7-Eleven in Japan. So you might hear me talk a little bit about that too.
That's
Oh,
your jam.
you're like the big fan of the Japanese 7-Elevens.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
wish they
cult.
had one over here. No, I don't. They look amazing. Every time I watch them on like social media, they
Is that a
like it's
thing?
the milk bread, right? Isn't it like the really soft, squishy bread,
Yes, it
and the egg
is.
salad is
It is.
like so like mixed together. So it looks amazing. They have some here around New York City. I try and like replicate it, and for some reason I take a bite and it's good, but I feel like it's
Um,
not the same. Like
no.
Really?
Doesn't really seem satisfying.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I'm just putting this out there because maybe we'll be lucky and 7-Eleven will sponsor us one day, okay? So,
Or we can go on a trip to Japan and do the podcast from there.
Yes, that would be gangster.
Those are true aspirations of growth right there. We're able
yes.
to get to
Yeah.
Japan to do a podcast. So,
Oh, which actually, so I get a lot of folks that are like, oh, like if I were to like look into mascots, like I want to maybe think about a mascot for my brand, where would I get inspo? Of course, Pinterest, but Japan. Get on a plane and go to Japan. You will get so much inspo because there's a character for everything. There's a character for the neighbor,
Mm,
the transportation line you're about to take when you're walking and you see sewer covers, which are usually brown and gross. Beautiful paintings that are so cute. Like they just do character building and mascots so well. So that's a hot tip. Like if you're looking
really?
to get some inspo and you can
interesting.
afford to go to Japan to get said
I just
inspo,
want to go to Japan.
go.
Yeah.
I just
Invite
want to go to
Mallory.
Japan. I just have friends who came back from there and they said, everybody I've spoken to, they say it's like one of the best places in the world to go visit. It's like everyone's super friendly. Food is great. Like very nice. Clean is like one of the biggest things I always get.
Yeah.
Super, super clean and well organized over there.
Yep.
Like infrastructure wise, it's really set up well. So, oh, I'm jealous talking like that.
You
I'm
jealous?
living in New
Yeah,
York
yeah.
City. Well, I'm in New York City. You know, it's
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
different world here than I'm sure
Yeah.
it is over there. I saw that stuff, but
Well, as we catch up, we're gonna start with Mallory. Mallory, tell us about your last week. What have you been up to? Your world, as we say, you walk in the line of
Walking
entrepreneurship
the
and
line. I'm walking the line right
unemployment.
now.
Yes.
Unemployment and employment. So last week's been great. Outside of just like resting and getting all these appointments that I need to get done right now, I have been talking to various startups in the space and just kind of starting to put my feelers out there and building relationships. And it's been really interesting to just see where people are at right now and where the AI space is at and what people are thinking about. So that's been kind of cool. I went to a haunted house called Terror
Ooh, how was
yeah, I
it?
love haunted houses.
How was
here in
it?
San Francisco. It was a 90-minute haunted house, but had live action in it, and which is like they had actors actually acting out the sort of story that takes you through the whole haunted house, which is very different from what I've usually experienced, but it was super fun. It wasn't like the scariest thing ever. I feel like it takes a lot for me to be scary with haunted houses, but it was still really worth it. I did a Halloween party with my niece.
Oh,
We
cool.
decorating cupcakes,
All the Halloween stuff. We love it.
right?
Cool.
Like, so I feel like that's been my week. It's been kind of festive, it's been restful, and I've been chilling. So, what
Living your
about
That's
you?
best
I
life.
love Halloween. That's my favorite holiday. I'm sad it's almost over.
All
I'm
right.
to the point. Yeah, I think I told you, Charlie, but like my wife and I were just big like fall fanatics. We got today's our anniversary actually. It's our 2 year anniversary.
Oh,
So we got
congrats.
married the end of October, and it was like after Labor Day was over. I've never decorated this early, but her name's Zoe. She just like she walks down. She's like, "Let's go get the Halloween decorations. It's time." I'm like, "It's still 80 degrees out." I was like, "I don't want to yet," but lo and behold, they've been up for the past 2 months. And now I'm going to be very sad to take them all down when it's over. But oh well.
Well, anything else new with in your world, Connor?
Besides the anniversary stuff, let me think through here. Anything really, really new? Well, okay, so it's not anything too interesting, but semi-interesting. I was supposed to go to Jamaica next weekend,
Oh,
and they are apparently about to get, or probably in the midst
oh
of
yeah,
getting like absolutely like they could be slammed. Like I hope
yeah.
not, right? I know a few people down there. Let me take a step back. So I actually helped a gentleman property manage one of his villas down there, right? I just like got hooked up with it somehow. So I take like all incoming like Airbnb inquiries, like Verbo, Expedia. People just reach out on the website, and for doing that, like whenever somebody books, I get a little bit of the cut of what it is, right? So it's a nice, partnership I have there. I was supposed to go down there this weekend coming up to go take pictures and update all the listings and everything. I was going to go down there for a couple of days, relax, get some sun in, and that does not look very likely right now. So I've been keeping in touch with a few people I know down there, just keeping them in my thoughts and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of the big shakeup the past couple of days, has been deciding whether or not I'm going. The flight's still on schedule, but I highly doubt they're going to even let people in Jamaica unless you're going there for, to help clean up or whatever there might be that happens. And listen, maybe it isn't that bad and it blows over without an issue. But yeah, that was kind of one of the big things. Again, feel really bad for the people down there, and
Yeah.
unfortunately won't be able to make it down to Jamaica.
But wait, you have an Airbnb side gig? Sorry, I think that's what I'm just learning in this. Oh,
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
sad that
didn't
you
know that.
know,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you have a
In
side gig.
Jamaica?
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, and
Okay,
it's not like,
so
don't get it twisted the wrong way. Listen, if we want to do a podcast in Jamaica, I could get us into this villa, no
that's what I
problem.
heard.
So yeah, I'm sure,
That's
but
what I also heard. That's what I heard.
I stumbled into this thing again. Somebody I'd worked with for a really long time reached out and was just like, it's an older gentleman, right? He can't keep up with the technology, and he's like, can you just help me get these people booked, make sure that they have their transportation to and from. It's like a private villa with like 6 bedrooms, like gated off. Like it's not like a resort, like Sandals or anything. It's its own like private house down there. So there's no you know structure in terms of people who are like taking bookings and making sure everyone's ready to get picked up at an airport at a certain time. So I'm doing that. I get a cut of the booking, and then if I want to go down at any point in time, he doesn't charge me to stay at the villa. I just got to pay for the flight and my food, and that's it. So it's a pretty sweet setup.
Boy, I was gonna say, yeah, it sounds pretty good. Hopefully, like you said, thoughts and prayers, because it's supposed to be pretty gnarly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Besides that, the anniversary thing, I'll be going out with my wife for dinner tonight at a nice French restaurant that we've never been to. So
Nice.
Okay, question. Who
Yes.
planned the anniversary? Was it you or was it your wife?
Wait,
yeah,
say the
Adrian.
question again, Mallory. I'm sorry.
I'm saying, who planned the anniversary? Was it you or was it your wife?
Like, you mean the plans for tonight in terms of like going out? Yeah, yeah. So it was it's funny because it was kind of like a dual thing. So if you're listening, I contributed to this. Anyway, it was kind of a dual thing. First year anniversary, I think it's like you have to get, what was it? Papers, like the gift. The second year is cotton, right? And we're both sitting there and it's like, what do you get that's cotton that's really, really nice, like for each other, maybe a bathrobe or slippers. And then we end up walking into Brooklyn and one day, and we're just sitting there and it's like, the duvet, like everything's kind of pricey there. So it's like, hey, how about we just get a new sheet set? Even though that sounds kind of boring, it's cotton, it fit the need. And that took care of that. And then we just decided for today, it was kind of me who was just like, you just want to go out to dinner. I picked a spot in Brooklyn and she picked a spot that's local in Astoria. So it's half and half. If you ask her, I'm sure she would take a lot of the credit, and I'm okay to give it to her for it.
That's so funny. I asked because when I was building whatever, there was a time where we were focusing on date nights and couples. And so I did a search with couples where I would talk to them about who plans date nights, how do they plan, like all of those things. But that was just one niche that we focused on when I was building whatever. But that's why I asked, because I'm always curious. And it's definitely a mix up for sure. It's not always by any means, which I think is the stereotype and what people tend to think. And it's because I think women just naturally love to plan more. But yeah, that's why I wanted to ask. I was curious.
No, all good. And I'll put it to you this way. There is something to it, right? Because any plans, anniversary or not, it's like, I'll be like, okay, you want to let's go out to the museum, the park, and a restaurant on Saturday, right? Like we have all these things, thankfully, in proximity to us. And she'll be like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then the day before, we'll still go do something, but the script is totally changed. The restaurant I picked is what she wanted. The museum changes to a Broadway show, and a walk in the park ends up being rowboats in Central Park, right? And it's like, okay, so I gave you the foundation. She just took it and wanted to go her own way with it, which again, I'm totally fine too.
Yeah, I do that too, as well. So, but you did put the effort in of planning, Connor. So
I did.
Plans change. Doesn't you put the effort in, and I
get that credit.
Yeah,
it's the effort. Yeah, that's it.
Charlie, why don't you give us a little scoop on what your past week's been like? What's up, man?
Past week, so I submitted the API. It was like an approval. Okay, so Google Ads has to be spit out in a certain manner. So like a certain type of not JSON. What's the other structured data type? JSON. What the hell am I thinking of?
CSS?
No, I can't remember.
JavaScript?
Ask marketers this question.
Yeah. What is it, Connor?
JavaScript?
Not Java. It's like a certain structured data that Google needed to see for the
Like
Google Ads API.
metadata? Schema?
Um,
I'm just gonna throw things out here until you say yes.
okay, all right.
Schema, metadata, JSON, JavaScript, CSS. Man,
Like
that's kind of where it all ends up.
when you prompt an AI in this data format, it's supposed to be like the highest and like best way, quote, best way to get a good response back. So it's basically what the AI is looking for.
Why aren't we just asking AI?
We
Sure, we'll
could.
tell us
I guess that's
in
the
a
easy way to
second.
do it. But
Yeah.
Isn't
whatever
this
that.
AI code?
Isn't this the whole point?
This is why we are here, Connor. Pull it up.
I
Pull
I'm
it.
think
doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going. Okay.
what the hell is it called? It's a structured type of JSON.
If it's
Anyways,
JSON this whole time,
okay. Anyways, whatever that is, Google was looking for that. So instead of, well, then I get the email from Google from their API team, and it's like, okay, well, we can't do the connector because we're not getting approved by the API to show you the way that this is supposed to report back. So it's like a catch 22. That's when I asked it. That's why I sent you that screen grab, Connor, of we can manipulate the data spit. We can create a dummy account in the app for Google Ads, and we can make it spit out dummy data in that certain structured way. And that's when I prompted GPT. That's when I sent you that screen grab, Connor. Is like, is this like that movie Speed where like they loop the footage on the
that
bus?
was
And
really
it's like
good.
they're doing it, but they're not doing it. And it responded back with a little laughing face. And it was like, yeah, that's exactly it. We're like kind of doing it just to send the screen grab to Google so that it gets approved so that they don't blow up the bus. And then I kind of laughed. Yeah. So that was sent last Thursday. And of course I watched that movie because that's a banger movie. That is a classic banger.
I'm
The
not seeing
young
much here, man. You got like
it's not JSON. It's
Node.js.
oh my God, this is gonna drive me insane. Anyway, it's got a young Keanu Reeves in there. Very young. Very, very young. It's a great movie. Went to an Avs game. I think that was Thursday night. I had like 2 beers or like 3 beers, and I had like a headache when I woke up on Friday.
God, we're getting old.
Yeah, I got back on the ice finally. I got back on after like 5 months off
There you go.
of
How'd it feel? You sore the
uh
next day?
dude, my legs were gassed.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
bet.
They're like one of the guys skated by. So I play goalie. One of the guys skated by me. He's like, "Hey, you look pretty good. Like, how you feeling?" And it was like 10 minutes into the skate, like just after warm-ups, like 10 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm gassed right now.
You're like hyperventilating on the
Oh
ice.
my gosh.
That
It
question.
was it was pretty bad. It was great. And then like I walked into the room, the dressing room, and I forgot that smell, that hockey smell. Like it kind of just gotten out of my brain. Yeah, hockey has a very unique smell, and
I don't like. I'm over
it's
here. Like, is
terrible.
it a? Yeah, okay. I
It's
would have.
brutal.
Oh,
I
like
didn't want
explain
to
it.
be rude.
I don't know how
How do
you
you
would.
smell this without smelling it?
You can't. It's a very unique.
Huh.
You just once you smell it, you're like, oh God, can you just get that away from me? But it's so much a part of that, and it's even like a thing in the culture, the hockey culture. Do you guys remember that show 24/7 on HBO?
Yes, I do.
Like it was such a badass show. They like 24/7 footage, following the team around. And there's a section on why hockey, like why it's so weird to have like a smell. Like there's literally a smell in the room. They set up, this is an NHL team. They set up fans in the middle of the room and just to get the smell like out the window, just because the smell is so bad. But I forgot about that and I walked in and was like, yeah, okay, I'm back. All right. Yeah, I get it.
Is it
That
So
BO or like what is it?
what's that?
Is it like BO
Oh
or
yeah, it's BO, it's crusty hockey gear. It's
okay?
guys that don't wear socks but wear
Oh,
skates for an hour and a half. So it'd be like wearing ski boots without socks, I guess.
yeah.
It's spit, it's mucus, it's blood, it's all kinds of
Okay.
just
All right.
like a medley of it's pretty bad. But
it
like right when I walked in, I was like, yep, okay, I get it. Like I'm in a hockey dressing room now.
Mallory, if you thought that the haunted house you were just in wasn't scary, go into it
Oh,
sounds like go into a hockey locker room
they're
and
brutal. That smell
Right.
is
And then I'll walk right out because I'll be so
yeah,
yeah.
like I'm good.
You'll do that teardrop just in and out, and then you get guys that don't wash their gear, and then you guys that don't shower after they play, and the guys that use the same towel for like 6 months out of the. It's
oh
brutal.
my God, that's how you get diseases.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I forgot how fun hockey is to play. So I play goalie. It was a hell of a workout. 90. I forgot what pucks feel like flying at your face, just like
My God.
guys winding up, taking clappers, and I got like a welt in my arm, and so
Hey,
it felt good to get back in.
wait, are you like on a team or in a league sort of situation?
I'm not in a league, but I'm in a private skate. So the best skates in Colorado don't have refs and they don't have scorekeepers. They're very private and you have to be invited in. So I'm in one of those skates. So there's
Hey.
like, and I've played for so long. Look, like everybody needs a goalie. I kind of talked my way in. Plus, I brought beer, you know,
Oh,
like
that's
once a
how
month. So
Beer will
that's
do it.
yeah, like that'll do it. So yeah, I've got all kinds of hockey stories. So that was good to get back on. I took the summer off to mountain bike. Um, so that was good. My legs were I did yoga yesterday morning. Usually I'm like
Yoga.
not bad. Oh man, the knees were knocking. I mean, they're like that. I was like trying to balance, and that was not happening. So, um, but it was good to stretch. I've been sitting in front of this screen building this app for the past like 6 weeks, 2 months. It's
Yeah.
good to get that stretched out. So, yeah, I literally have a note in my phone app. Did yoga finally, dot, 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 all caps, not limber. Yeah. Not limber
Wait,
at
have
all.
you
I,
done
I,
hot yoga?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It
All right.
is,
What is hot
that is
yoga? I'm not a
no
yoga
joke.
person. What is it?
Well, Connor, when we all three of us get together at some point, guess what we're doing? We're going to yoga.
Oh,
And
I
then
don't
we're gonna,
want.
and then
It
we're
is
gonna
no
film it.
joke. Hot yoga is no joke. They throw everybody in a room. You get a mat. They crank up the temperature, and you're just like
Yeah, you're sweating.
sweating like crazy.
I will lift weights all day, bike, treadmill. Yoga
Dude,
for some reason is not
it is
like.
not the
Oh,
same.
also, so I love to do yoga, but I do a lot of Pilates, and I'm obsessed with
Uh,
Pilates like talk where they show men doing Pilates for the first time, and they're just and these are athletes, right? They're not just like these
yeah,
are
yeah,
athletic men on like doing Pilates, and they're just like shaking. They just
yeah.
keep, so I'm
That's
like,
how I am with yoga. It's
that's what we do.
It's no joke. Like
We
it
get
is.
together and we'll film that, and that will be we'll
Yes.
the podcast.
That'll be
Well,
super entertaining. Might be the most entertaining thing
and
Yeah,
it
for
would
the podcast that day.
it
yeah.
would be. See, this is what
Um,
happens if you guys bring me along. I'm coming up with all these
oh
crazy.
yeah, I 100% in that we're doing that. So did yoga. Plans for Halloween. We're going as what the hell is that show again? Why can't I think of this?
Oh, you told me this, and it was really good. Legends of the Hidden Temple, right?
Yes, yes, we're doing
Yeah.
that. So we got the shirts in last week. We got the helmets last night. We're gonna spray paint them gold and going over to a friend's place. Um, Andrew, well, he doesn't listen. It's that friend group, that couple that you go in and hang out with, but you just get just smashed. Like I can't try. They have this guy drinks like he's the highest functioning alcoholic like I've ever met, and I can't do that. But he's so
Well,
fun to hang out with, and
good
so
thing Halloween's on a Friday, right?
yeah, yeah. Good thing it's on a Friday. So look, I'll have 3 beers, be hungover, and but
What you do, Charlie, you switch up from beer and you just do shots of tequila because
ugh,
that
Boom.
clean alcohol right there, right? Just like in terms of, I mean, no alcohol clean, but like in terms of not feeling the effects as much, shots of tequila will do
the
you
clear
good.
booze. Okay, we'll see.
I
I will
think
send.
there's something to that, probably, or for
I'm not
sure.
joking about that. I don't drink beer. I didn't when I was college. I don't drink it. I wish I liked it because it's just like an easy drink to get literally at any bar or any restaurant. But of
Yeah,
course, cocktails, and I have to be that bitch. But I love to if I'm gonna go out, do a few shots of tequila, and then and then I coast the rest of the night,
really.
and then I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And
you
that's what
Do
I
you
do.
drink
Like
wine?
earlier, no, I drink multiple, like two, three, and then you're good the rest of the night.
and you just sip it neat, or you take a shot.
No, 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 you don't sip it. No, you gotta
So
take the shots.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You beer
Uh,
bong it, Connor.
well, I might, I don't know. That's anyway. I don't have any, any type of alcohol liquor I'm usually okay with, except what's the one? It's called Fernet. I can't really do. I don't know if you've
Ooh,
ever had that.
yeah, I have.
I think it's an Italian thing, or I think like after they're done eating, it helps with
Yes.
digestion and stuff. And I'm just like, no, not for me. It's too
Yeah.
strong. But
I used to live with two bartenders. So
I
yeah,
used to
they're
be a bartender
oh you
in
did?
college.
Okay.
I was
Oh
the
wow.
local college bartender. It was fun. It
Did
had
you
its
have that
moments.
stash too?
No, I didn't have that stash.
Uh,
I back in the day when I was younger, in my younger days, I couldn't grow a cool stash like this. So that's a recent addition
the
to.
duster.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Fernet's very popular out here in San Francisco, so I've had my fair share of Fernet shots. Unfortunately, I'd much rather have tequila because it is like drinking Listerine.
Yeah.
And at one time, I hosted a party where I had a Fernet fountain, and that was a hit. People liked
A
the
Fernet
Oh,
fountain. Oh my god, that's awesome.
that is
Oh, there's
gnarly.
another worse one.
It was a mixed cocktail. It was like Fernet in it, and it had other things, right? It wasn't just
Yeah.
Fernet, but it is a thing here in San Francisco. And then there's a drink when I grew up in Chicago called.
Malort. I was about to say that.
It's so gross. So it tastes like grass. So I feel like every state or
Oh,
parts of the
Lord.
US have their like drink, and it just isn't. And like here, it's Fernet. So yeah,
Interesting.
it's
No,
definitely like an
Malort.
Italian thing. I think you're right. It's not. It's like an aperitif from like some
Mm.
part of Europe.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But not for me. Malort. That was the other one I was thinking of.
I don't remember
Fernet's
that.
not compared to Fernet, Malort is awful. Like Fernet is great. I would drink that anytime if you put two in front of me. Like Malort is just.
I don't think I've had that.
When you visit Chicago,
I have.
when we visit Chicago,
Yeah.
so if I have to do hot yoga or yoga or Pilates, whatever it is that we come up with, you have to have Malort, Charlie.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's
All
cool.
right, you'll be all right. Don't
Um,
worry. I'll make sure you make it home.
I'll be fine. And yeah, and then we hopped. I gave the old shepherd's hook to Mallory. I said, "Yo, Mallory, what do you think? Got this idea? Got this podcast?" And I sent her an email, and yeah, and then
Here we
here she
are.
is. Yeah, this is over the. I sent that when did I send that email? A
No,
couple days
Wednesday.
ago, and
We sent
then
it last Wednesday.
yeah, and then yeah, I got it back yesterday. And I was like, "All right, let's fucking do this." Scale this up.
We
So
so
very, very
we
exciting.
why don't we give a little insight as to the person that we're actually going to be speaking with too, so everybody kind of gets a
Yeah.
preview of
So we are interviewing, I might screw this up. His name is Sukh Saini, and he's the lovable winner of the hackathon. Pardon me. The hackathon. Will I Am was there. I guess Will I Am, he offered to invest right there on the spot, I guess. So we'll get the story. So again, Sukh Saini, he's the founder of Engine.ai, and it's a marketing platform. So looking to get more insight out of that. So that should be a pretty good interview.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm looking at Engine AI. It looks pretty cool. So definitely quite
Looks
a few
good.
questions I'm going to have.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
gentleman.
I've got a couple loaded up, and yeah, why don't we just go ahead and transition over that, and we'll see you guys after. All right, we're here with the Lovable Hackathon winner, Sukh Saini. Thank you for taking the time with us.
Of course, happy to be here.
Sukh, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
How has so you won the Lovable Hackathon? The first week after your victory, what was that like?
Yeah, it was kind of unreal. So the first week after, I had a bunch of plans afterwards, by the way. So like when I went to LA, I was like, I'm gonna go to SF and like, do a bunch of conferences. So I just went from like one, and I didn't expect anything to happen. So I was gonna be like, just participate, get a little project going, and then like go to all these conferences. So like it was kind of surreal. But I didn't have time to like relish in the moment, so I just like went there to SF for like a super-based hackathon. But really, like then after the week, I had a bit of time to like just sit and ponder, and kind of it was a great it was a great feeling, because it's something like music space. It's I listen to music, but it's never a place I've ideated in, and I have no idea what the issues or problems are in that industry. So being able to like jump in super quickly, build something and validate it, and then win, and then come back from it, it was like I think like something that would take me on my own like 6 or 7 months of like dedicated time versus like being done within one. So that was surreal.
Since your victory, okay, so you've got your company, okay, you had the hackathon. What made you even sign up for that? And then 'cause that was just a weekend, right? As opposed to the Bolt one, which is 1 month long. What made you sign up? And was there anything specifically that you wanted to get out of that, or is it just like, all right, I'm just going to jump in?
Yeah, so it actually started off. So I've been in my city. I've been organizing vibe coding hackathons all the time. We've done 4 of them, And every single time, because I'm the organizer, I don't actually get to build anything. It just kind of sucks. And I feel, because of how like fast AI is moving, I always feel left out. So when I saw somebody else was organizing a hackathon, and it was one of my friends at Lovable, I'm like, oh, that'd be great for me. Like I could just like, let my hair out and just kind of like go in and build what I've always wanted to do. In fact, in the previous hackathons, I actually said to my team that for the half a day, please don't bother me, because I want to like build something on my own. And so I was really trying to do this on my own, and I wasn't able to. So that was one. The number two thing was, I was building something, but it wasn't growing as fast as I wanted it to be. So I was in this like, period where I was trying to understand, should I continue on with this thing? What should I build out next? So those two things, when they came together, and I saw that there was a hackathon being put up in LA. It's away from my city. It's somewhere I would never go. This is the first time I've been to LA, and it's in the music industry. So it just like seemed like the right place, right time. I applied. It was supposed to be like a very small gathering, so 30 builders and 30 musicians. Like that's the way it's set up, and then you get paired up like a musician with a builder. So I thought that the concept was really cool. So all those three things combined together, I was like, let me just put an application in. If I get in, I'll book a flight immediately. And then that's what happened. So like I got accepted, and then I was like, all right, time to book a flight like 3 days out. And then so that's when I went.
That's awesome. One thing, Sukh, too, I'm really glad I picked up on it earlier. And me and Mallory spoke about this too. You refer to San Francisco as SF. I don't know why it just picked up on me.
That's how you say it.
Yes, it's SF for the city.
Yes.
So when I went, I'm a native New Yorker. So my first time over to San Francisco, I was calling it San Fran. And I was just getting the worst looks from everybody over there. And finally, my cousin's nice enough to tell me, who lives there? You think I'd get this information before? And they're like, Connor, it's SF or the city. It's not San Fran or San Francisco. It's SF. I don't know why. I just had to say it. You said it right the first time. So I guess.
No, you're actually right. Somebody's done that exactly. That thing that you said, somebody's done that exactly to me. So I was calling it San Fran as well. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's in the movies. I think they say it like that.
Could be.
Or like. Yeah, but I've had that exact discussion before, and I hated that when that happened, but I'm glad that they did, because I didn't have to, fool myself again over and over again after when I went to the city.
Just commend you for that. Again, I made that mistake, so I just don't want to pick up on it. At least kind of give it a thumbs up there. But anyway, I digress. So talk to the hackathon and everything. One thing I looked up into at least is Engine AI, right? Like I thought that was really cool. I've checked it out before. Very interesting. Can you kind of give me a little background? It's like, what inspired you to even come up with the concept?
Yeah. So I've been an engineer for like my whole career, and I've been a builder my whole career as well. So I've been wanting to build products and stuff like that. I think I'm at 36 at the moment. And yeah, but the 28 of them have made no money. So I was like, there's something wrong with me. And what was wrong with typically with like technical founders is like, you don't know how to sell. So 4 years ago, I found that out, and then I was like, okay, how do I find a way to like, how do I learn this skill basically? So I just like went out and I bought blueberry honey. I don't know if it's honey made from blueberry flowers or blueberry mixed in with honey, but like it's some sort of like thing like that.
Either way.
It's a wholesale. You can get them from wholesale from like Nova Scotia. And then I was an intern at the time, so I would like sell that to like all the people around me. But because the thought was that if I could sell this product I was already selling, if I was able to sell that, that's great. If I can't sell that, it's not that the product is bad, it's because it speaks directly to my selling ability. So that was a little exercise, and then ballooned. That went really well for me. Then I started a cold email agency, an SEO agency, and then I started building go-to-market tools. So I built a SEO tool. I got into an accelerator because of that. Mm-hmm. And then SEO was kind of like not working so great. So then I switched into how I was already getting customers, which is building in public on LinkedIn. So that's the way I've been getting all of my customers this whole time. And so the problem that I identified was that us as individuals, it's very easy for us to like sit on a call and give advice, but somehow if you're sitting down and writing a good LinkedIn post where you're like giving advice as well, it's very hard to. It's a blank page problem. So I built this like voice AI, kind of like an interviewer, like a Lenny's podcast, where it would ask you. So it'll say, Connor, what'd you do last week? And you'd be like, I did this. Okay, like what was a lesson that you learned? Oh, I learned this thing. Like, but like that's not a common advice. Like people will tell you to do it this way. No, I don't think that's the right way. So you basically like it's like a sparring partner. And so that 5-10 minute conversation on Monday morning becomes your LinkedIn content for the rest of the week. So this gives you distribution without having to spend a lot of time and money to like create LinkedIn content, which is really crucial for like B2B sales.
Yeah.
So that's what I built. That's a whole product. It has customers, and it was like testimonials, and the product is good as well. But I through a bunch of different explorations, I know that the it's not going to grow as fast, and it's also just not a great business. That's the main thing I figured out. And so like that's kind of like it's on the So the product is built and people are using it at the moment.
So are you saying it's almost like it has a feeling to it though, more or less? Like
yeah. It's got some features that I'm not a big the market has some features that I'm not too happy with. One of the big ones is that when you sell this kind of a product, you can only sell it to creators or like maybe CEOs of a small company, because bigger companies, they just want this work to be done automatically, so they hire an agency. They would much rather hire an agency than have a tool. So like you never see a CEO of a big company use that tool, right? Then the other thing is that CEO, even if he loves the product, he's not going to buy it for the rest of his company. So that's the reason why the business is not great, because even if I was successful in like getting this product out there, I'm not going to get that scale effect or like network effect on the work I do. So anyways, too into the weeds, but the idea being that I explored the space, the product works great. I just don't think the business is going to work. So like I was figuring out what to do, or should I continue on with it? Like just trying to like figure that out.
Very cool. You mentioned that you've built 36 different products and that 28 of them failed. Yes, $0. I'm curious, like how do you come across your ideas? How do you brainstorm them? How do you then validate your ideas? And then what is your advice to founders out there regarding like those that have been in your situation that have built so many products but haven't like kind of figured out the one that's going to work? Like what advice would you have to give them?
I would actually answer this with a story. So I'll tell you exactly how I won the hackathon, because it's exactly, I think, how you're supposed to do it. So when we went to the hackathon for the music competition, my partner, she had a lot of like music background, so she kind of like laid out some problems, right? So you laid out 4 or 5 problems, and I used ChatGPT to understand what the impact of that problem is. Like, is it a $10 problem or is it a $1,000 problem? And like the same technology actually can be used to solve a $10 problem, but the same one could be for 1,000. So for example, a voice AI, you could create content with it like I was, right? Like what is the value of a LinkedIn post? Maybe like $1 or so. But you could actually solve like you can put it in front of a receptionist desk, right? And like, for automating those calls. Okay, receptionists probably make like 50K a year. You can like, figure out what the value of that is. Or you can say, we're going to do this for like enterprise support and automate, call centers. That's still voice AI, but then the ticket size of that is like super high, right? So to figuring out like, is there $1, $10, $1,000, $10,000 problem? And once you figure that out, they're vastly different businesses. So you need to be aware like which game you want to play. So we did that for like a couple of different ideas. And instead of like building, by the way, we had 5 hours to build. So instead of building, we actually like decided to 5 hours. So we decided to waste our time. Not really. We had 4 ideas, so we just went around to people because there were artists in the room. So these are like Grammy-winning artists that have, had some accolades as well. And we were like, hey, you don't want to give them 4 ideas, you want to give them 2. So you pitch them 2 ideas and you say, hey, can you give me $10 if I build any one of these? Or actually, the better way of saying it is like, which one would you give $10 for? And saying $0 is totally fine. In fact, if you say $0, that's what you preferred, rather than you being like, hey, I'll just like pay 10 and then like, just so you're being nice to us. And the added pressure I added on top is that I will come and collect in 3 hours because I know I can build this, but I'm gonna come in and collect that money as well. So like that just like cemented what we were doing, which is like idea validation before it's even built. So we just went around 10 people within the next hour or so. Every single time, picked two different ideas, and then like pitched those two different ideas. Then came back and figured out an axis of like what is like based on like what is the thing that we want to work on, like we're happy working on. Number two is what is like that enough painful and repetitive problem, like that's the second one. And third one is like, can we build this super quickly, because like we don't have millions of hours to do this. So like those are three axes. And I think by the way, everything that I'm saying, I think like if you just do it in a normal startup scenario, like that actually like works well. It just like it was an expedited timeline. So once we have that, and then we have, what are the four signals from the audience, which one they want most. We just pick that idea, and then we built that out. 5 minutes before the hackathon finished, we went to one of the 8 people that said yes, that they would pay, and got them to pay on Stripe, and then took that thing, and then put it on the pitch deck, and the rest is history.
Cha-ching.
So I think like that kind of, yeah, that kind of like that sort of like process kind of like works really well. And if you're like an engineer or like a builder that's like, hey, I'm like doing all these things, but I'm not hitting the right idea, or like I'm not sure like if I'm building on the right thing, I think like working on those axes and like having the payment upfront, that has served me well over and over again. In fact, I used to do this on Twitter as well a long time ago, where I would like put an idea out and then say like, it would be $20 a month, like when it launches, $10 right now. I would collect the payments, and if I can't build it, literally I would like in public say I can't build it. Here's all a refund back. And if you want out of the $10 refund, you want $5 more from me for like wasting your time, fine, go for it. Like I'll give you extra money as well. And like doing that over and over again, it's a scary thing to do, but I think that's what's required.
Absolutely. The resilience piece, I think, is really important. And sort of the one relatable piece of feedback that you shared of like the top three things that you should kind of think about when you're building, right? The first one being that you want to like enjoy and love what you're building, or like pick the thing that you want to build, because when times get hard, it is the thing that will kind of carry you through, right? Your vision and what have you will carry you through those times. Have you kind of ran into
Yeah, a little bit. It's because like there's at some point, I think like it was a Christmas time, I built a game on Web3. This was like when Web3 was like on everybody's lips. It's not anymore, which is kind of odd. Now everything is AI. But 2-3 years ago, when Web3 was big, I was building this like game with like blockchain based game, Santas versus I guess like normal players, and then like the game would run on a blockchain. That was the whole thing about it. And like NFTs were involved somehow. But like it worked well, and it made the rounds on Twitter as well. But I thought to myself, like, it's really good. People are using it, people are playing it, but like, why am I building this thing? Like, do I like which part of this whole thing I care about? And like, turns out I didn't really care about any of these things. It was a good like way to test out the technology and like understand like how it works, but like it wasn't like a lasting business. But I wanted to make it one, but then I didn't have any passion for it. So a lot of the times you pick a thing because it's like hot and everybody else is doing it, but then if you don't have the relationship with the problem, it's very hard to continue on with it, especially a year later when everybody else has forgotten about it. And you kind of have to like still go at it because you made that choice a year ago.
Sukh, you've mentioned that you're an engineer by trade. Actually, one of your YouTube videos titled LinkedIn Sales Workshop, the first 20 seconds, you said that you're an engineer by trade, but I need to learn how to sell. Mm-hmm. Given your experience and the fact that you're an engineer by trade, for our audience, what are some sales tips that you can share through your experience?
Yeah, the big one I think is you gotta be a likable person. And like I know this is like a loaded word, and there's a lot of like you can't tell what a likable person is, but like literally when like you speak with somebody, that somebody gets energy out of you, like that's the person that you want to be. Because literally if you can do that, it doesn't matter if you're selling a $10 thing or $1,000 thing or $10,000 thing, like it will work. And so the couple of different ways that I've been able to do that is it's just been a long journey. So it's not like a quick fix at all. I at the very, like, when I came out of uni, I was like, I knew that was a thing, the shortcoming that I had, which is like me being shy and like being, I want to work on a laptop kind of thing. What I found that, like, if you're a smart person but you're sitting in the back, nobody cares. But if you're a dumb person at the front, everybody wants to listen, right? And so I'll much rather have my ideas be listened than, like, spewing in the background, being like, oh, I wish they would like hear my thoughts because like those are great. So my sort of like the thing I wanted to reinvent was like, how do I become that person? And when I become that person, how do I become like likable? A couple of like tactical things that I did was I listened to comedy podcasts about 24/7. I go to
Really?
sleep just before I sleep. I like listen. It's just like a habit I've built up, but I just like comedy. But also like comedian people are likable from the get-go. And so like you can keep like sales is likability. Sales is like making somebody laugh, right? Like 30-minute meeting, first 25 minutes you make somebody laugh, last 5 minutes you say you want to do this like 100K deal. That's the way it works, right?
And that's how you
So
have relationships. I love this. Like I
yeah,
think it's super important. And also like it's so refreshing to hear a founder talk about that, like the fact that they're not listening to another business or startup podcast, and instead you're listening to something completely different that also brings you.
yeah.
Dude, that's great. Sukh, have you taken anything from any of those and like verbatim said something you heard to like ice break or just to like carry a conversation? Just out of curiosity.
No, I don't think like verbatim at all. But there was one time, like, I bought a super expensive jacket one time, and somebody asked me for money, and I'm like, I don't have any money. I spent all on this jacket. So that was like that was
Nice.
so that's something that came out of like a podcast as well. But I think it's just like there's like a string of letters or words together that like make somebody feel a certain way. And that's what, again, like that's what sales is. Like there's like a string of words I can say that would make you buy a $10 thing, but then the same string of letters could make you buy $1 million thing. And like comedy is the same way, right? So it's all a wordplay. So yeah, I really like communication and like I want to be a better speaker. So that's the cadence I think is like what you pick up or what I think I've picked up by listening to these folks of like how do you say a funny thing or how does it sound like so then I can like mimic it as well. The exact words are like a little bit subjective. And so that's one tip I have. The second one is learn how to do like a sales call. So like a sales call, typically the way I do it is 30 minutes, 5 minute building rapport, next 10 minutes doing like discovery on the person, next 5 minutes asking if I can do a demo, right? And then so like 10, 15, 20. So and then like the last couple of minutes like handling objections, right? So like and then the last couple of minutes, if they say yes, if they've said yes to everything, sending them a Stripe payment link immediately. You're not going to see this person again. The no-show rates on the next call is like basic, like is through the floor. So if you can like learn to do a 30-minute sale in this way, you become a machine. At that point, you just need something to sell because like you just have the process down. And if you can like go through those phases without feeling hurt or without feeling that it's like that the customer is like saying no to you specifically, like there's all these like things that kind of go through your brain. If you can like become a machine and do that, like that would be my second thing. If you can be a person that can like close things on a 30-minute call, because like the reason that you can close something on a 30-minute call is because you've like been likable, you have something like you've identified a problem with them and that they trust that you can solve it. So like it's like an ultimate litmus test for that. The third one, and I'm happy to go into detail on all these ones as well, but the third one that I think I recommend is like building in public. So I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. In fact, Mallory, we're talking about KP. KP is the build in public guy, and I think I spent like KP Karthik Puvada, that's his name. He is a founder of relations at Paddle. He's been a mentor for, actually, he used to run this thing called Build in Public Fellowship, which is like all about how to build in public. And I paid for it because I'm like, I need to learn this. And it sounds silly because like, it's like, yo, you just like write stuff in public, what you're doing. But like, there's a bit of like a mind shift there of like, I am a person that like does things and like talks about those things and then talks about my learning in public and talks about failures in public. And I'm not a person that just like, goes to ChatGPT and says like, I have this story, and like, can you make it like a lot more positive and add more emojis to it, which is like typically what people when they post on these social media platforms do. So really being an authentic person, if you do that over and over for a long period of time, people start remembering you. So people like remember that this person has been honest, trustworthy, and like is able to like share the lessons that he's learning, and just like is a person that I would trust. And so that thing with the impact of social media, as in like you have a large group of people they can hit immediately, it pays dividends longer term. I've been doing this for the last 3 or 4 years now, and now people come to me and be like, "Hey, I became a founder because I saw your post," or like, "Hey, my friend told me about you a bit ago." Even somebody saying something negative, sorry, positive, like "Oh yeah, you should work with Sukh because he's like I XYZ because I like him." That recommendation is everything, and so anything that you can do to make that positive cycle start is useful. So those are my three points.
Yeah, the positive reinforcement piece is huge, like you said at the end. And then I think I wanted to go back to you a minute. So you talk about like authenticity, right, in the content that's put out there. Mallory, you and I have spoken about this too. It's like authenticity, it just adds credibility, right, to everything that somebody's viewing. But you also mentioned, what most people are leveraging AI for, right? It's like, okay, I want to put a post out on any social platform. Here's what I'm thinking, but I can't really put words to what I want to say. So I throw it in ChatGPT or Claude, right? And it comes out unauthentic, robotic. You can kind of tell, in your opinion, and there obviously has to be, there's a way to kind of still leverage AI for that, but still make it sound authentic. You just need to know the right prompts and train it in the proper way to really have that output, right? Or would you think a bit differently?
I would actually like go the extreme opposite. I feel like if you can't say anything well, then you need to be a better speaker or a better communicator. That's where the problem is. It's almost like putting a
Sorry, I'm
it's
just
almost
like,
put,
no, Mallory loves it. Preach.
in the age of AI slop, and look, like we talked last week about the importance of the humanness in our work, especially in the age of AI. And I feel like Sukh is like has that down pat, right? Like he's like he's building AI products, but at the same time realizes the like importance of the human touch, and especially with the LinkedIn post that you have. And that's why I'm just like, yes, because I think it's important. We need that.
it's very important. It's also like think about it this way, like for the time being, yes, for the time being, like AI will like right now I need to put a good LinkedIn post out. Okay, I'm gonna go to ChatGPT because I can't form sentences in the right way, right? I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, copy and paste, and put it in there. It did do the job, but the underlying issue is still there, which is like you don't know how to like put words together to get people to feel things, and that it really is the main thing, right? So like, how many times are you gonna pick up ChatGPT and almost you're using it as a crutch? Now put that
Good
person to
point.
the side. You have another person who maybe isn't as eloquent, and I don't think like being like having big words actually means anything. So this person isn't that eloquent, and like maybe like the commas aren't in the right place, the plural things are not all the place, but the thought is authentic, the thought is real, and they're able to like say that thought whether they're here, they're speaking on a stage, they're speaking with a friend, right? Like that person doesn't need ChatGPT. They are the authentic person. That person actually will get a lot more. Yeah, they will get a lot more opportunities because they worked on the craft. With AI, you're kind of like putting on a band-aid, so you're not learning the thing. So I think like it makes sense to use AI to do things that are like, I don't really need to learn this thing, but I think it is absolutely incredibly important for you to be a person that again is likable, but also is a master communicator. Everything a founder does is sending a good email. The world is at, if I can send an email, good email to Mark Cuban, one email, like I would get that check. If I was to hire a world-class employee, I need to be able to like write good. I can't use AI and then like when they come on board, they're like, you're a completely different person, you don't even know how to like form sentences together. So people can see through that like really quickly, and it just like doesn't make sense for your personal growth.
Yeah, I think that makes all the sense in the world too. It's like you said, it's a lot of people use AI as a crutch, and if you can't hone in on the craft prior to, AI is meant to help support and supplement, right? It's not meant to do the work for you. So I think that's a great point and kind of a lesson that all of our listeners should kind of take away from that. So good point, Sukh. Appreciate that.
So Suk, where's Engine now? And we're in late October. Where's it going by January 1st?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I don't have a great answer for that. So I'm in a bit of a holding pattern. Like I'm not sure what to do. There's a couple of things that are. So I made a couple of bets early in the year. Maybe I can share that. So I think, yeah, I'm trying to like figure out what my mission is, but I'll tell you like what the product is doing. So I built this. Do you guys know Canva?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have right now the #1 trending app on Canva. It's called Carousel
Oh,
Studio.
Oh, I'm checking
Yeah,
it out.
yeah, it's called Carousel Studio, and so it is. It's got it basically like you put in a prompt, and then it will like create a carousel for you, like a social media carousel. We'll design it plus write the copy automatically for you, and it's something that I worked on for like very small time last year, and then it's just kind of like blown up. And so what I thought it wasn't going to be as big, so I wasn't like thinking about it too much. But I think this might be the break. This might be the thing that I need to put more time into it. So what I'm doing literally right now is I did some experiments of like data product analytics on like what countries are using the most and like where the issues are and stuff like that. So I figured out that retention is not great on the app, but like people like really love it, like really love the promise of it. So it's not delivering the value as much as I want it to be. So I'm like literally doing a product redesign right now. And I'm gonna have a new release out in like the next couple of in a month or so. But in January, it's at 20,000 monthly actives right now, and I think I want to get to like 50K, and I think we have a pretty good shot of doing that.
That's awesome. The app looks pretty cool too. So how long, out of curiosity, to build something like Carousel Studio? How long does something like that take? I mean, validating it, I think, doesn't take nearly as much as building something that stands on its own, right? And building something within Canva is easier to validate. So yeah, just a little more insight there would be cool.
Yeah, well, I'm actually gonna throw out everything that I just said previously, and like, because like all that stuff doesn't apply to this thing. So what happened for this thing was, so we all builders built AI products, but like the marketing part is a hard part. So a year ago, I started looking into like what are the different ways of growing. LinkedIn is one of them. SEO was another one. That's what I was doing, SEO. So like learning that part, like learning while like helping other people do the same thing. And then the third one, which has been my a little bit of I've somehow become an expert in this, which is like building in marketplaces. So 2 years ago, so did you guys know like Stripe has an app marketplace?
Yeah.
So yeah, not a lot of people do. So Stripe App Marketplace is fantastic because it's the people that are B2B that are collecting payments, so they have money. So if you can like make their job easier, then you can you can charge them a lot of money. So I built an app and I sold it. And so I knew that building in a marketplace could be really fruitful. And so that's when I was in SF. I saw Canva release their app marketplace. And so I was like, okay, this is an incredible opportunity. I didn't have any words like sort of like validate this way because I was there for the weekend. I went through their docs and it took me 2 weeks to build it out. It's because like I was already familiar with the workflow, right, from the Stripe app marketplace. So I knew what the different like pieces that I needed to put together were. And at that point, same thing. I came up with five ideas. One of them kind of like made sense. I continued to build that out, and then I put it out, and then I immediately saw like an uptick. But I was like, I don't know if they're gonna pay, and I wasn't sure if they're gonna pay. So I built it out really quickly, and then just it's been running for about a year and a half now. And just like a month ago, I put in monetization because I was like, I don't think anybody's gonna pay. I might as well just do a test to see if somebody would pay. People wanted to pay, like
Nice.
a lot.
Nice.
And so I've kind of like, so I started this time for this plugin. I started with distribution first, and then I figured out what product to build versus like starting with a person, right? So that would be the other way of doing it because I already knew that Canva has 100 million users, and there's got to be something that Canva isn't covering well. So what that is, if I could have that potentially, then I would have users and I would have like payment or revenue from those users as well. So I started back from a distribution and then kind of like worked into a product versus all the way around.
Suk, what tools are you using as we wrap up here in the next couple minutes? What tools are you using right now, and what can our listeners expect from you from early next year?
Yeah, the tools I use Lovable for all of my quick builds because I just want to like see what it would look like. But once I have something that's like roughly the shape of what I want it to be, I bring it into Cursor. Um, and
Okay.
because I built so many products out now, I have like templates built out, and so I can just like drop that product into the template and get going pretty quickly.
Is
Yeah,
that the only
that's
reason
one.
why? Suk, pardon me. Is that the only
Yeah,
reason why you go from Lovable to Cursor? Is because of
that's
those templates?
yeah, that's
That's
the main
okay.
reason why. Yeah, also I work on a very specific stack, which is it's called Next.js, like Next.js
Mhm.
and React. And so it's kind of like the become the industry standard for all of the AI packages that come out. They typically support Next.js the most. It is also like the most like loved by community at the moment, so it's very easy to find other builders that can help you with that. And then
Mhm.
obviously my templates are also in Next.js, so like it just like makes sense for me to do that. And also I'm a builder, so with Lovable, what happens is like if you make a change, it kind of like rewrites the whole thing, and then like you're playing whack-a-mole, and I would really not like doing that. And so I can like select parts of the code with cursor and like just make small changes because I
Gotcha.
actually
Yeah.
already know I know what the changes need to be. I just don't want to like sit down and do them myself, but I need
Yeah.
them to be like very localized changes. Um, and the last reason why is because I'm a cursor ambassador. That's the
Oh,
other
okay.
thing.
No doubt.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's the other reason why.
Gotcha. I have spent so many nights in Lovable just error loops. Not throwing shade at Lovable, but I mean I've slacked Connor like 2 a.m. Like, dude, I like my brain's gonna fall out of my ears. Like I can't figure
Yeah.
this out. So
And it's not just a lovable thing. I think there are many vibe coding tools in general that are kind of dealing with some of these issues right now. So,
Yeah, and so a bit ago, I was doing this thing which I called Vibe Coder Doctor sessions. Basically, I would just come on a
oh,
call and explain to
cool.
you like what's going on wrong. But yeah, it's not an uncommon problem. It's like a very common problem that you would run into, and like that's the reason why, when you like work with builders or like engineers, they like they've gone through like I've sat through these kind of things overnight and just like Googling what the hell is going on kind of thing. So that's why like if you show me an error, I pretty much have seen like most of the errors at this
Nice.
point.
Nice. I have uh last week before I ran into this roadblock with the Google Ads API for our app that we're building, I would have GPT-5 or Sonnet 4.5 basically diagnose what Lovable is telling me, and I just go like back and forth, and just for my own like sanity and smoke
that
tests, and you know how it is.
Yeah, of course. I think that makes total sense as well. I think like just understanding kind of like what the errors are being thrown and like why they're being thrown. Because like sometimes it's like you've asked it to do something that it can't really do, but then it's trying to do that because it's like I must serve the master.
Mhm.
And then so like you need to know why it's doing that, and like having another LLM kind of like where you like paste in Mac messages and like ask it, hey, am I crazy for doing this? And like give me the actual advice because the vibe coding platform is like, yes, I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you can't trust it.
Well, Suk, as we wrap up here, where can our listeners find your apps, and where can we find you? Like X, or if you have a YouTube channel, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. So I can like send that to you afterwards as well. So
Cool.
LinkedIn would be a great place. I'm happy to like chat with any listeners that you have that are like struggling with any of these things and see where I can be helpful. So I have my email is sukh@engine.ai, engine with a Y. But email and LinkedIn, that's where you would find me.
Email and LinkedIn. Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, cool. Suk, thank you for taking a few minutes. Great
Of course.
insight shared, especially in the sales part. I think that's so critical for founders to
Yeah.
learn that and get to know that. So thank you for taking a few minutes, and we'll be back next week with another episode.
thank you, Sue.
Thanks, Suk.
Great interview. Suk, cool dude. Great story. And I
Yeah.
love his insight on sales, by the way, like how important it is to learn how to sell as an engineer by trade. And,
I
what,
mean, selling in general is important as a founder, right? It's not just about your customers, but it's even just about fundraising, right? Like that whole fundraising process, you are selling, right? If you are talking to a journalist, you are selling, right? And so I think it's not just about acquiring users, right? But it's also all of those other areas as well. Even new employees, right? Like when you're
Yeah.
trying to bring a new person on your team, you're selling them, right? Your vision
Yeah.
and the business, right? So it's more than just the product and getting customers. And I think that's something important for founders to take away that are listening to this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other piece too that I really, the sales process is great. Again, you don't hear that from a lot of guests because I just don't think they know right enough. And I think Sukh did a really good job of just giving you the 101s of, hey, if you don't know how to sell, these are the steps you should take, right? This is what you should do. At least it works for him. It may not be the same for everybody else, but I just thought it was really cool to hear that again from kind of a builder's perspective because you don't get it often. And then the other piece too, again, it's just the human element to the content that you put out there, right? And the personable touch and giving it the credibility that I think people really crave, again, because it's like you can tell when something's fabricated, you can tell when it sounds fake versus when someone's really speaking from the heart and just kind of putting it out there to help give you information that they think is going to be useful. So he was an awesome guest, really cool, good, insightful stuff, especially from somebody who's built 35 plus things in his career so far and has only had success with just a few of them. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
I'm inspired. I feel like he is the embodiment of one of my favorite quotes, which is to have strong visions that are loosely held, right? So, and basically that what that means is that, if something that you try doesn't end up working out, like there's so many other ways to actually accomplish your vision, right? And your mission, I feel like he's done that, right? With just the amount of products that he's built, the amount of products that have failed, but he gets up and he continues to try again. And it's inspiring for me. I'm like, dang, maybe I gotta go
It
build something
is.
now. Like I gotta do it. I'm getting that energy.
It is. It's like Charlie. Just imagine this though. You've gone through it with campaign pods. I know there's been a few other things here or there, but imagine 30. Was it 36?
38, 36.
36.
Right, 36.
Charlie, imagine doing what you did for campaign pilots. Granted, over time it gets shorter because you know what you're doing and you're doing it for different reasons or whatever. But 36 times of doing what you've done for campaign pilots and not giving up, right? And just having the courage to be like, you know what, whatever, this one didn't work, on to the next one, let's just do it and throw it out.
So I have in my head right now just air loops, and staying up until like 2 a.m. like when the quick story I told you when I slacked you like 2:15, is like this thing is not going to be ready. I have that in my head, but I think more than that, it's like how are these things built? How's the foundation? Like what's the specific problem? I feel like after app maybe or like attempt 10, I feel like your focus gets so granular. You can build like super fast. With campaign pilots, I just happen to pick, like, from what I've been told, the two hardest things to do, which is authentication and connectors. And I have gotten to know one of the support guys at Lovable. I won't say his name, but yeah, I dropped his name to MP from Lovable when he was on. He was like, "Oh yeah, that guy." That he knew him like right away.
Oh,
so,
no way.
Dealing with that, oh my gosh, just the headspace that it would take. Because I literally think about that stuff like before I go to bed at midnight or like first thing in the morning. Like, oh my gosh, I have an idea for that. I just run to the computer and just like
and sometimes it takes. I think that it's not the same as building, right? But if I'm building, it is building. If I'm building an infrastructure for like a DRM for somebody from a marketing perspective, it's like you have to customize it so much that it could be looked at almost the same way, right? Maybe it's not as technical, but having to do something, being at my desk for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, like straight, no breaks, and just trying to configure things. It's like sometimes you just need to take that, like, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to give this a rest for 2 days. And it's so funny sometimes when you come back and look at the problem you were facing that took you 6 hours to figure out. And after taking a break, it takes you like 20 minutes. Because you're like, oh, wait, that's all I needed to do. And there's something to be said for giving your brain that kind of reset instead of looking at the same exact thing every day, hours at a time.
The problem, it doesn't go away. It's like impossible. And then you come back and, oh yeah, I don't know what I was thinking at that point. But anyway, that will wrap up episode 23. We will be back next week with another banger, of course. Thank you for listening, and we will be back. Peace.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye, everyone.